Well, good morning, everybody. How we doing this morning? This is a new year, 2025. This is a new video since the new year. So I want to take y'all along with me today, show you what I'm going to be doing. It's going to be pretty interesting. See this old church in the background here? We're going to go up into the tower house of that church, up in that steeple where the bell's at. There's a bell up there. And we're going to grease it, and we're going to have it rung, and we're going to be up there while it's ringing, and we're going to check out and see if we get a date off that old bell, see how old it is. Now, this old church is from way back in the early 1900s, around the 1900. I have a picture of it here, way back there. And yeah, we're going to go, and we're going to go up in that bell tower, and we're going to grease it a little bit, and we're going to maybe have Tubby ring it from inside the church, and we're going to watch it ring from up there inside the bell tower. And I had installed some speakers up there a few days ago. They use them sometimes for playing Christmas music through Christmas outside, and we're going to see if them speakers work. So we're going to go and climb through that old attic. It's dark up there, and we'll go through the parsonage through there. We're going to climb through the attic and go all the way down and climb up through the roof in that old bell tower. So come along with me. Let's go do that. Hey, y'all, this is something of interest right here I was wanting to show you. This here is a list of the pastors of this old church over the years. Now, I don't know if all of them is on here or not, because the last one I see on here is in 1995. So this is 2025 now. So there's a whole lot of pastors that is not even on here. But look here, the first one I see on here is W.O. Akers in 1923. And you have them from there on up through the 20s and late 30s, 40s, and 50s, and 60s, and the 70s. But when it gets up toward the 90s, it kind of just fades out. But the church is still in use at this time. In fact, that's where I go to church. And I thought this was interesting. They had a list of pastors here, but you know, I'm sure there's a lot that's not on here. Now, I have a picture of this old church back around 1910. The date's not on the picture, but there's some old vehicles that predates that's in the picture. So I don't know. I guess maybe they didn't have the stuff to put it on or whatever, or list. But I thought it was interesting to show you this here. Well, I told you a little about what we're going to be doing here just in a little bit, but I want to talk to you just a little bit, not long, about the bell, about the church bell and the ringing of bells and all that. I was sitting out in the parking lot the other day here, waiting on my wife to get off from work here from the nursing home. And I was sitting over there and I was looking toward the church, and I was looking at the bell tower, and I was thinking, wow, just think all the many years this old bell's rung for, you know, either when it was a school maybe, or calling people in for church on Sunday mornings, just how many times that old bell's rang. And I was thinking, you know, I'd like to do a video just going up in there and see if we can get it to ring and see if we can get an old date off that bell. Because I had never been in a bell tower before. I have here just at least a little bit lately. But so I thought I want to take y'all on this journey with me if y'all want to go. Check this old bell out and see if we can get it to ring and stuff like that. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about the bell. What a bell is. I didn't know a whole lot about bells. I still don't, but I've learned a little bit. Bells were first invented in 400 AD by Bishop Paulinus of Campania. Wow. They were not used in churches until about some 200 years later. A bell is described in the dictionary as a hollow cup-shaped instrument that gives off a clear, resonant note when struck with a clapper. We're going to find out what a clapper is here just in a little while when we go up in the tower there. That's actually the part in the center that swings back and forth and hits the bell. So we're going to go up and check that out. to see if that bell has been rang a lot, because I read where if it had been rang a lot, you'll see marks in the side of the bell where it has hit over the years, if it's been used a lot. CS Bell Company, that was mostly who made the bells in the areas of not per se Appalachia, but I think it was central in Ohio. And in 1889, over 20,000 bells were manufactured and sold. They were sent out by horse-drawn wagons, by ship, and by rail to all the parts of the civilized world. Charles E. Bell, son of the founder, was taken into partnership in 1882, and C.S. Bell Company was formed. Wow. So it was Charles S. Bell who designed these types of bells. Now, they just weren't used for churches. They was used for all different types of things to inform people of stuff. So we're going to get into that here in just a minute, too. Charles S. Bell died in 1905. Charles E. Bell continued the business on throughout the years. Talking about bells, what were they used for? Well, they was used for a lot of different things. Bells have a special place in many religious and cultural traditions. They mark joyous occasions like weddings, somber ones like funerals. They tell time, call dinners, celebrate holidays, summon students to class, and then send them home after school. Wow. Yeah, I can remember we had a school. When I went to school, I was at an old school that they had a bell that they'd ring us in out for lunch. I can remember that back in the day. But they declared the arrivals of trains, ships away from shallow water, alert residents to impending events. Wow. But bells was silenced at one time. And I didn't know this. It says between 1939 and 1945, 175,000 bells across Europe was taken by Nazi Germany. They were transported to collection points where the bells called the Bell Cemetery, the biggest of them in Hamburg. Some 150,000 were delivered to foundries and melted down to make shell casings for military. Wow. This was during World War II, and they had used so much metal in the war that they didn't have any metal, so they rounded up all the bells and melted them down to make artillery out of. See, the bell metal was typically made of hard alloy, usually composed of 4 parts, copper to 1 part tin. It's known for its hardness and rigidity, but the Germans broke up the bells and then smelted them and refined the bell's metal separately. The copper, tin, and metals included lead, zinc, and even silver and gold. A tone of the bell would typically yield 760 kilograms of copper. Wow. The sound of the church bell ringing is deeply embedded in British culture and the hearts of minds of all the people. And bells have different meanings, purposes across the world. But no matter where you are, they are always there to inform us of something to mark a beginning or an end. Bells are all sound of hope, freedom, and peace. And the only time bells were silenced in British history was during World War II, when it was agreed bells would only ring as a sign of invasion. However, the bells were then rung to announce the end of the war and declare peace. Wow, I didn't even know that. So we'll go ahead and here, after I tell you about this here, I didn't know about this. Check this out here. Called the Death Knells, Knells. I never knew about this, so death knells are not to be confused with tolling, Tolling, that occurs at a funeral. A death knell was rung as soon as a minister became aware of the parishioners had died, in order to communicate the sad news to everyone in earshot of the church. I can understand that, because back in the early days, there was no telephones or anything like that, or cell phones, or to let anybody know anything. And they had a bell that they would ring to communicate with the to all the people. So here, the tradition code for a death knell called for the bell to be rung twice, 3 times for a woman, or 3 times 3 for a man. Then the bell would toll for 1 stroke for each year of the deceased's life. Those listening and counting had a good idea of who was gone. They could prepare for a funeral probably in a day or two, after which more tolling would accompany the body from the church to the grave. Wow. I didn't know that either. So, okay, we found out a little bit about a bell, but we're going to do what we came here to do. We're going to go up into the bell tower, and we're going to see if we can get this old bell to ring, and we're going to see if we can get a date off the old bell, and see if we can get these old speakers to work too that I put in last week. And y'all ain't afraid of the dark, are you? Because we're going to go through the dark here just in a bit. And we got to go a ways through the dark to get up into the bell tower. But it's light up there. It's a light shines through. So let's go see what we can get into. Get right back with you. Well, here is the rope we used to pull the bell with. We'll have Tubby. Oh, there he is. We'll have Tubby help me this morning. Ring the bell and do a little speaking on the microphone. Can you speak on the microphone okay?
Yeah. They gonna hear me today.
Yeah, we ain't cutting no wood or hauling no coal today. We're gonna try to ring a bell today. I need to replace that ceiling tile, by the way. But this is the old rope. Keith Potter helped me install that about a year ago up into the bell tower. But we're gonna climb up into the bell tower today and see if we can get it greased and get it ringing, and see if we can make the speakers talk. Can you talk? You can talk.
Oh, yeah.
You're a talker, ain't you? All right, I'm going to head up onto the top and...
I'll have to get up there on that mic and Elvis come out in me.
Oh, not in the church house.
Well, no. I won't be in the church. I'll be all over the place.
Yeah, that's right. But we're going to go up and see if we can get this bell ringing. But first, we got to go through the attic where all the bats and all that stuff is. We hope we don't see nothing like that up there. All right, let's get it rolling. Okay, folks, we're up here in the attic of the old church here. And you see way down on the other end there, you can see something blue. That is where we're headed to. It's about 50 feet away, but we got to go in between these rafters here. Be sure we don't fall down through the sanctuary. But we have to walk on these big 2x10 joists. It goes across there. Then we go to the end there, then we're going to go straight up in the top to the bell tower. So if we can see if we can make all that happen here, and hopefully don't stir up no bats or nothing. What do y'all think? All right, here we go. Oh. Well, back in the day, they made wood. Man, them's true rough cut 2x6s, 2x8s, and 2x10s down there in the joists. That's back when they made real wood. This old church here was built in the early 1900s, 1901, but I had heard that it wasn't a church first, that it was a a gambling place. Now, that's what an old mayor here in the area told me. And that it wasn't a church first, like 1900, 1910. That it was a place of gambling and stuff like that. Could you imagine that? But I want to show you this right here. These cables are not being used now, but back in the day, it's what they used for power wires. Along the top of insulators here, run separately. And now you have like 10, 12, 10, 2, 12, 2 wire that you run, the breaker boxes and all that. But this here is what they did back in the day, was running on insulators. Wow, that's something. Well, let's head on down there to the other end, see if we can get up through that little hole in the roof. Okay, here we are. We're here on the end. Boy, there's a bunch of wasp nests around here. Thank God there ain't none in them. Okay, here's the hole I have to crawl up through, folks. And right up there is the bell. And look up in that bell. There's a wasp nest in it too. Now, let me see if I can get up through this little hole here. And we'll check out this bell right here. Wow. This hole ain't about 12 inches wide and 16 inches long I have to come through. And here's the rope coming by. All right, let's get on up in there. Well, folks, we're here. And this here is the bell, right here. I want to show you this real neat thing. We did find the date on it. Oh, by the way, this right here is called the clapper, right there. And remember what I was talking about? If the bell had been used a whole lot, there'd be marks on it. See right there, right in the middle there? It's been hit there many, many times over the years. Wow, this bell has been used a lot. But look here, let's find the date here if we can. It says 8/14/17. So this was date stamped 1917. Wow. We need to get the old wasp nest out of it. Here, it might make it ring a little better, you reckon? So here's the old speakers is up here. They don't work anymore. Right over there. But we'll get Tubby, see if he can make this thing ring here in a minute. We'll give him a call. He's downstairs. Also, see if we can get him to get on the microphone to see if his speakers work. But looking out through here, we can see it's the nursing home, which used to be the old ball field back in the day. Let's see if we can get a better look at it. Can't really get through these old louvers here. Maybe up here. There we go. Yeah, this here used to be the ball field, but now is a nursing home. Ball field was back early days. I got a picture here to show you of it back in the day. Wow. Well, it's cold up here. I gotta get this done. It's a snowy day out here today. But I was going to show you something. Look at how big these timbers are. Big the wood is in this old tower. This is built right on the steeple on the top of the church. And it had come through a hole. It was cut out in the attic here. Yeah. Well, let's call Tubby, see if we can get him to ring this bell here. Hey.
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
You hit the speaker button on the phone?
Oh yeah, I got it now. Hey, are you ready to ring the bell to see if she'll ring?
Yeah.
All right. Be sure don't knock it down on me here. We'll see if we make her ring. Do it about 5 times, if you will. Wow. Yeah, boy. It works. Yeah. So we greased it just now. Okay, now go back on the microphone and see if the mic works for these speakers. Just put them in here last week.
Hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
Oh yeah, it works real well. All right, man. Thank you so much. I'll be down here in just a minute. Wow. I wouldn't want to be up here regularly when this thing rings. That is one loud bell for sure. But yeah, folks, that there is called a clapper. It claps the bell, actually, makes it ring. I greased all the parts of it and tore the wasp nest out. So, yeah. Yeah, we got some writing on here on the board here. Let's see if we can get turned around and read it and see what it says. It says here on this part that holds the bell up. On the bottom it says number 24 steel alloy bell on the bottom part. But yeah, this rope is hooked to a big pulley here. Comes over and swings the bell, and the rope goes down to the top of the church, down to the sanctuary. Folks, I just wanted to bring you along with me today to show you what it looks like in an old bell tower of an old church. So see if I can get down out of here without breaking too many bones. Awful dark down around. See if we can get on out of here. Well, I made it back down out of the bell tower, back down to rafters now. See if we can get back down out of here now without breaking something. We're running on a bigger rat. Wow. I'm gonna show you something here. If I've got it with me. I'm gonna show you. I got a 2x4 here, a piece of one. Show you the difference in the thickness of this here. What a 2x4 is to what this is. This is actually 2x, where our modern 2x4s are 1.5 inches. I just want to show you that. It's unreal of how things has changed about, you know, when you buy a 2x4, you figure you get a 2x4, 2 inches thick and 4 inches wide, but that ain't how it is, for sure. Well, let's see if we can get on out of here. You see the light at the end of the tunnel right there? See if we can get out of here. Well, folks, I made it out of there, looks like. In one piece. Didn't get it eat up by no bats or rats or anything like that. This is something a little different for y'all today. So, thank y'all for coming along with me. And we'll catch y'all next time on Appalachian Roots with Dan. We'll catch y'all in the next video.